The Middle East is becoming an increasingly popular destination for teachers wanting to move abroad. While many educators are quick to flock to Dubai in search of a more exciting and luxurious lifestyle, teaching jobs in Qatar have recently become one of the top choices. In recent years, it has been the host of many major sporting events, with the most popular having been the 2022 FIFA World Cup, putting Qatar on the map for teachers who may not have considered moving there previously. If you're considering relocating to this Arab country, here are some things to take into consideration. A selection of international schools to choose from. Qatar offers a wide selection of international schools for parents and educators alike. You will be able to find schools with different curricula. Whether you are more experienced teaching the English national curriculum or feel more comfortable with the International Baccalaureate, also known as IB, there are plenty of options available to suit your needs and experience. At Teacher Horizons, we currently have over 70 schools in Qatar listed on our website, so why not start by checking them out? While the majority of international schools, just like most things in Qatar, are based in the capital city of Doha, there are also some excellent international schools located outside of the city, for example, in Al Khor. Make sure to research your options to ensure that the location fits the lifestyle you are after. Job perks. In case you weren't aware of this already, Qatar offers tax-free salaries. This, for many, is one of the most enticing aspects of teaching in Qatar. Qatar is one of the richest countries in the world, so it should come as no surprise that it can be a relatively expensive place to live in. Numbeo.com, as well as our salaries and benefits page, can provide you with a more comprehensive overview of the cost of living and can help you have a better idea of how far you can stretch your salary. Nevertheless, teaching in Qatar can still provide a comfortable lifestyle that you wouldn't necessarily be able to get back home. While your salary likely won't make you rich, it will definitely give you the opportunity to save up if this is a priority for you. Teaching jobs in Qatar tend to offer attractive remuneration packages. Many schools will provide relocation support and medical insurance, which is of a very high standard. Another common benefit is having accommodation provided, generally with bills included, which could either mean having your very own apartment or, in some instances, a shared one depending on the school. Some teachers like the option of having accommodation included in their package as it makes the transition much smoother and helps you settle in quickly. Schools may even provide bedding and cooking and cleaning supplies to help you get started. It is worth noting that sometimes accommodation might be in slightly less desirable areas of the city, albeit still safe and clean in comparison to most countries. If you are not provided with accommodation, the school will offer a living out allowance. Some teachers prefer this as it gives them the opportunity to live in more luxurious, sought-after areas like the Pearl. However, this comes at a price as it means that more of your paycheck will go towards rent. Regardless of where you are, you'll never be too far from others as Doha is a small city, and it does not take long to get from one place to another. An international hub. Qatar's location makes it the perfect base for travel for international teachers. Last year, its well-known airline, Qatar Airways, was voted world's best airline, and it was not the first time. This recognition alone is a prime example of the high standards of service in this country. No matter where you want to go, you can easily find a flight departing from Hamad International Airport. Many teachers love to live in Qatar because of the endless travel opportunities it provides, particularly to other countries in Asia, Europe, and Africa. With affordable options available year-round, those teaching in Qatar often make the most out of the school holidays and even weekends to discover nearby destinations. Perks outside of teaching. Safety is often a common concern when moving to a new country, especially when traveling as a single woman. Fortunately, many teachers find Qatar to be one of the safest places they've ever visited. Of course, as with anywhere in the world, avoid putting yourself in risky situations. Nevertheless, living in Qatar can bring a sense of reassurance as you are not in a constant state of worry when you are out alone. You can stay calm knowing that people generally aren't interested in stealing your belongings or causing any harm. This is a luxury that many other places don't offer. Another perk of living in Qatar is that there is a selection of beautiful places waiting to be seen, all of which are very well looked after. It's true that there may not be as many places to visit as there are in other big cities around the world. It's important to remember, Qatar is still a relatively new and small country. However, you can still find some gems within the capital city that will keep you entertained and give you opportunities to learn about its recent history. For example, the National Museum of Qatar, with its incredible architecture, and the Old Doha port, with an array of colourful buildings. A walk by the Museum of Islamic Art offers fantastic views of Doha's skyline that will leave you in awe. If you want to escape city life, you can travel north and go kayaking in the Al Thakira mangrove forests, or opt for a thrilling dune-bashing experience in the desert, making sure to stop by Qatar's inland sea. Regardless of your interests, you will certainly be provided with photo-worthy backdrops. Adapting to change. Weather and location. As you can imagine, being located in the desert means that temperatures might reach new highs you have never experienced. Summers in Qatar are very hot and humid, and you will likely have to limit time spent outside. Working in a school luckily means that you are able to escape the brunt of it by traveling overseas during holidays. But the months leading up to summer and those following it can still be quite intense, especially for newcomers. Thankfully, this modern country is made for these conditions, and no matter where you go, you can cool down indoors with the AC. Over time, you will get slightly more used to it, but it is something to keep in mind if you are someone who likes spending most of their time outdoors. Once it gets to November, temperatures tend to drop significantly, and you will find the weather very pleasant, giving you the opportunity to explore more places. Another thing to consider if you love being outside is that Doha is not a particularly walkable city. While in your hometown you may easily be able to walk to get from point A to point B, this is not much of an option in Qatar unless you are in one of its parks or limit yourself to the Pearl area. Although Doha's metro system has certainly grown in recent years and was incredibly helpful during the World Cup, it may not reach all the places you need to get to, limiting your transportation options. For this reason, the best way to get around the city is by driving or using a service like Uber, both of which are relatively affordable due to the low cost of petrol. Adapting to change, living and teaching in a Muslim country. Lastly, and possibly most importantly, before applying to teaching jobs in Qatar, you should keep in mind that Qatar is a Muslim country. If this is something you are not used to, it is essential that you are mindful of cultural differences. Schools will generally give you some guidelines for this when you start, but it doesn't hurt to research in advance. While Qatar may not be as strict as other Middle Eastern countries, it is still important that you are respectful in the choices that you make. For example, avoiding public displays of affection and making sure you dress appropriately. Even though some people may choose not to do the latter, it can come across as disrespectful, and you may be denied entry into public places. Many expats spend time in hotels over the weekends, which will give you the opportunity to go to bars, nightclubs, and pools if that's something that interests you. Outside of hotels, alcohol is scarcely available and only under certain conditions. When you are working, it is incredibly important that you do not talk about topics which may be inappropriate or controversial, especially regarding political situations and religion. Don't be afraid to ask experienced colleagues, as their advice will go a long way. Moreover, make sure that you are aware of religious practices within the country. For example, during Ramadan, you cannot eat or drink in public during daylight hours, and shops will operate at different times. Although it may seem overwhelming at first, there is no need to be scared of these things. Just be mindful of the differences and be open to learning about another culture. After living there for some time, you will soon find it becomes second nature. Qatar, a country waiting to be discovered. From endless travel opportunities to job perks and beautiful places to explore, there is so much that makes Qatar stand out as a prime destination for teachers. We hope this video has given you a better understanding of life in Qatar and has helped you consider whether it's the right fit for you. If you're eager to make the move, head to teacherhorizons.com and create your free profile to explore opportunities. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay updated on the international teaching life.